I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Joining me now is Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp Perez. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Brittany.
You, along with a handful of Democrats, released a statement earlier this week that in part called for President Biden and Congress to, quote, bring order to the southern border. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, it's great that we were able to pass the National Security Supplemental and get lethal aid to Ukraine to stop Putin's aggression, but we don't have national security without border security. And in rural communities like mine, we have seen just the real damage from fentanyl. People are dying. We have got to stop the cartels. We've got to stop the flow of fentanyl. We've got to have operational control of our southern border. People are dying. We can't afford to wait around for whatever political, favor people think they're going to get. My community is demanding action right now, and it's my responsibility to represent that.
Let's talk about what your constituents are saying about this. Immigration and border security continue to be top issues facing Americans. It sounds like it's top issues facing the constituents in your district. What are they saying?
Well, fentanyl is so corrosive to so many of the communities and neighborhoods I know. I mean, you don't really have to talk to very many people before you start hearing very personal stories about it. The other day I was dropping off some stuff at Goodwill, which is like a thrift store we have here, and within 5 minutes of being in a city, I saw somebody smoking fentanyl. I had my 16-year-old niece with me. I mean, no family wants to experience that. It is so corrosive, and it's time to act now. The president has existing authority, and Congress needs to act to empower some of his former authority that was taken away by the Supreme Court. People really like to position Trump as having designed a lot of these policies like Title 42 or Remain in Mexico. But if you look back, that is an existing authority. And we have got to give our border security agents the authority they need to keep our communities safe.
Well, what do you want Congress and President Biden and the Biden administration in general to do right now?
Well, Congress needs to act to, as I said, support President Biden, reestablish the authority that was existed under COVID to have processing in Mexico. But we also need to get things done as a body. I mean, so many Americans agree with us, the strong majority, and it is wild to me that you could see H.R. 3602 pass with a strong majority in Congress and still not become law. You've got, extremists using inside baseball to stop real progress, and American families are paying the price.
You were one of the 5 Democrats to vote yes for H.R. 3602. Can you talk about that vote and what that meant?
Yeah, so, and also previously, I voted to create one of the highest levels of staffing for Border Patrol, and that became law. So we know that there's a real demand and a real need to support our agents, but we had seen so much partisan infighting and, candidly, a lot of politicians just fundraising off the crisis at the southern border. This is a humanitarian crisis. It's unconscionable to use it in that way as a football when so many families are suffering. And being able to come together to negotiate in good faith, that is what my community wants to see out of their elected representatives.